Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and today we are going to be talking about something that most people have experienced while growing up. Um, and it's so sad that adults, teachers, caregivers, even parents encourage this in their younger ones or in their children, and they overlook it. They don't think that these things have a very ripple effect on these children, because a child or a young or let's say a teenager, even a young adult, their mind is like a virgin land, and it's anything that is thrown in it or anything that is sowed in it, it germinates, and it just serves like a building block, like a foundation of a building. It forms like a building block where every other thing is built upon. Children don't know how to decipher what is supposed to be taken out, what is good or what is bad. Like they also say that your children don't do what you say, they rather do what you do, or they practice what you do. They are the most perfect, or will I say the best observers. They know how to observe you so much. I tell them, oh, don't do this, and they see you doing it. Even if they don't do it in your presence, they will go behind your back to go and do that thing, because they see you doing and they feel you are their parents. If you can be doing this thing, it doesn't hurt you, why should it hurt them? That's how children are. And what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is bullying. Bullying is so rampant, and it's something that's been going on for ages, that's been going on for years. And it's like this thing, it could be curbed, it could be stopped, but I don't know why nothing is being done about it. Recently, I think few weeks ago, yeah, we saw a video trending online from a school called Igbinedium, and it was so gruesome that I don't know, for days I was disturbed, and it disturbed my spirit. Like, why can a human being be so cruel to another person? And in that video, it was they were in a part of a school. That place looked like a cultist room. The writings on the wall and everything, it was just so scary, like a horror movie, you understand? And we saw some seniors stepping on, kicking, abusing, brutalizing some younger students. These students, they look so young, they looked pale, they look helpless, and they were stepping on them, kicking them, doing all sort of things to them. Like, I don't know what they could have done to deserve that punishment, but it's even a criminal that did something horrific or even killed someone should not even be treated that way. Talk more of innocent kids. Like, what could these children have done? Their only offense is their parents sending them to a boarding school. That's their only offense. And I don't know, I just felt for them. And the teachers, after the video went viral, and we also saw a video going around that these students, the bullies that were oppressing these students, the younger students, they've been expelled before, but they actually sneaked them back into the school. Why? Because you also heard that those kids, their parents are rich and influential people. And you know one thing about parents like that, they are very, very good with sponsoring or supporting the school. So they always have like an upper hand, or their kids already have like an upper hand. Teachers do not want to touch them, they can go scot free with so many things. So it just boils down to oppression. When the parents feel okay, they are bigger than every other parents in the school, their kids too, yeah, in a matter of time, their kids too start to take on that traits, like, I'm bigger than you, my parents is this, parents that, we own cars. If right when their parent comes with big cars, and your parents are actually entering a public bus to drop you, so they feel bigger. It's just a mentality that they adapt from the behaviors of their parents, and they take on. They feel, okay, I'm bigger than you, I can bully you, I can. You don't have to even be breathing the same air I'm breathing. This is one thing about them. This is a very, very terrible repercussion of these things. When these victims, when they go through these kind of things, especially when they know that they are adults and people that could actually stand up for them, but they don't, they actually grow up to become dysfunctional adults in the future. I actually today I went through so many profiles of serial killers, so many of them, like up to I think I did more than 50 of them. And you know what I did? I went through their biography, I went through their childhood, the school they went to. I tried to understand them. And one thing stood out amongst all these serial killers. They had one thing in common. And would you ask me what it is? All of them, I mean absolutely all of them, had a terrible childhood. They had a traumatic, there was one turning point or one traumatic experience that had turned their life around. All of them, I mean all of them. Time will not permit me on this video. I would have listed all of them. You can go and do your research, or just type in their name on Google search and also check, and you see that there's that thing stood out. All of them were being abused, all of them were being bullied in school, all of them had this traumatic experience. They did not have a good upbringing. Their parents were not good parents. They were always bullied in school, and over time a happy child just becomes withdrawn. A happy child just become isolated. A happy child just become silent. And you as a parent, if that's even if you even cared enough to notice or to note why your child that is always bubbling, jumping up and down, almost turning the house upside down, while the child just become all of a sudden becomes withdrawn, becomes gentle, doesn't want to talk, or doesn't want to socialize, doesn't want to do anything, and some parents don't even notice. So let me I actually wrote down 10 of them. They're actually more than that, but if you want to test my theory, you can also go do your findings. One of them, like, they're very popular serial killers. One of them is Jeffrey Dahmer. Whosoever it's you, if you are very very conversant in news, you should be familiar with this name, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was a child that he did not have a pleasant childhood. He did not grow up as a happy child. um he was a happy child actually before age 4, and he had a surgery of a double hernia he was operated on. And this it was stated in his biography online that he actually became shy and isolated after the surgery. And it was also said in his biography that he was mostly picked on in school. He was bullied, and he did not have a he was not able to socialize like his other peers. He was always withdrawn, he was always picked on. He cried most of the time home, and all those kind of things. Also, I also checked on Teddy Bundy. Teddy Bundy too is a very popular serial killer in America. He was also a victim of bully. If you can read about him, I don't want to go into details about him. He was also picked on. He did not have a very smooth or very happy childhood. I also checked on Richard Ramirez. He was abused by his father. This one was abused, not even the abuse actually came from his own parents, people that are supposed to be protecting him, protecting him from harm. They were the one actually instilling harm upon this poor child. I mean, when he was young, he was abused by his father from home, and he became isolated and withdrawn. He was also a big victim of bully. The thing is that when a parent abuses a child, it really taking away their sense of belonging. They feel they feel they are not worth anything good. So they just have these downcasted spirits that makes them a victim of bullying, because people just, I don't know how this thing just works, but this spirit of isolation kind of brings that sense of shame. You don't feel you are worthy of some certain things, and I don't know, it just kind of attracts this bullying to you. That's also the case of Richard. I also checked on John Wayne Gacy. He too was also he was bullied due to his heavy weight, and he became isolated. His father was an abusive alcoholic that abused him and his sisters. You see, it was a this his case too was also abuse from the home, from his father, as that is meant to be a role model to him. He abused him. Then the poor child was, he had, he was big. As they said, don't body shame people, don't body shame people. He was abused by his father and also body shamed in school, always picked on. H Holmes too was also bullied. He was bullied, and he had a traumatic experience where he was ambushed and forced into a pharmacy and tortured with a skeleton. He later became a doctor who murdered people in his pharmacy. This case is actually a very interesting one. And one thing too I want you to notice that all these people that I'm talking about, let's say 85% of them are always nerds, like intelligent students. If you check them, they're always very brilliant, they're always doing well in school. These are the case of these kids, they are always intelligent, brilliant students. This H Holmes, I don't know, maybe it was this traumatic experience when he was actually in primary school or high school, when his a group of boys traumatized him with a skeleton. Maybe that's the reason why he went into medicine. And after he graduated from school with good grades, he actually established a pharmacy. After he built the pharmacy. He now later built a hotel. I don't know, maybe he was running both together, and he was using the hotel as a butcher house. That traumatic skeleton experience made him to maybe vow that he was going to start butchering human beings, to butcher their skin off, to remain their skeletons. Also, I checked on Samuel Little. He had abandonment issued by his mother. They said his mother gave birth to him and left him with his grandmother. When he was asked, he said his mother was a night woman and she's worthless and this, and he kind of developed hatred for women, and he murdered a lot of women during his time before he was arrested and killed. So this also boils down to abuse from parents. People that are meant to love you. He just felt maybe he was worthless, he's not worthy of love, and he's just feeling this pain that he feels every other person should feel. I also checked on Dennis Rader. He was also withdrawn. He had this sadist fantasy since he was a childhood. He has a traumatic childhood experience, and yes, he experienced bullying while growing up. Also checked on Ed Jennings. He grew up in a challenging environment where he and his brothers were isolated, and they were isolated by their parents. They were this guy and his brothers, they were not allowed to associate with other children. They didn't even allow him to go to school. He could not play with his peers and all of those things. So the boy just was isolated and withdrew, and he became obsessed with his mother. Then later on in life, he started killing people. He was described as shy. He had lazy eyes, and he was an easy target of ridicule and bullying. So that's the thing. When this abuse comes from home, it just reflects in everything that they have. You see a very happy child, or let's say a sanguine child, is bubbling and doing all those things. He can never, that kind of happy child that is filled with love and joy from home, can never be um a victim of bullying, because I don't know, this spirit of shame, it just it's just I don't know, maybe like a magnet for ridicule or bullying. Let's just put it that way. So these children that are always victims of bullying, is always spent it's spawns from the home. When they already had this down spirited soul from home, it just kind of reflects in their outward appearance and makes them a victim of bullying. I also checked on Robert Lee Yati. He came from a violent family. This one even experienced, he said he experienced how his grandmother used an axe to murder his grandfather. Can you imagine how traumatic that experience going to be for a young child, like a young child just growing up, and you seeing someone kill someone in your presence? So he was also he was also a victim of bullying and all that. So what is all this all about? I read about one particular person. Sorry, I forgot his name. They said he actually after I think 10 years after he left high school, he went back to kill one of his high school teachers. It was not said what exactly why he killed that person, but I just did the maths and put the missing dots together. Why would someone go back 10 years after to go and kill someone that taught him in school? Probably that teacher was also part of the people that were bullying him in school, always setting him up for ridicule in the classroom or something. And I just wanted to say, if you are a teacher, especially in school, because most time I don't know, apart from abuse from the parents, I don't know why a child will actually be experiencing bullying in the home. But let's start from the school. If you are a teacher, you are a headmistress, you are a proprietor, or anybody, if you are in an environment of learning that where children are learning, please, for God's sake, do not close your eyes to bullying. I think the best punishment for bullies is if you experience where a bigger person or a senior student is bullying or picking on a younger student, bring call an assembly ground, put a stool there and give cane to the younger student that is the victim or is being bullied on. Give him cane to flog the bully, that's the senior student picking on him. Tell him to flog him mercilessly in the presence of everybody. Bring that shame they are trying to bring on the young child. Bring that shame back to the bully. Make them feel that they don't have power, to put someone else in that place of ridicule. That's the best way to handle bullies. And in return, you are making those victims feel a sense of belonging, that someone cares about them. They start to they start to see the bullies now as the problem and not them being the problem, because at the end of the day they start to feel, okay, maybe they are the ones with the problem. That's why nobody loves them. That's why they are always feeling the way they are feeling. That's why their parents don't love them, because they are a problem child. No, they are not the problem, but the bully. So when you do this kind of thing, you give power back to the victim to ridicule them, and you give a strict warning that if anything happens to that child, the bully is going to be held responsible. You are going to come for them after the victim has beat the child. If the victim does not have enough power to beat that bully to the extent that he's going to feel so much pain and start crying on the assembly ground in front of everybody, please take the cane over from the victim and beat this bully mercilessly. Beat them to the extent that they cry. I'm not asking, it's not until you flog them their skin peels off. But yes, if they peeled off someone else's skin, I think the same punishment should be meted to them. Make them feel that same pain. Make them feel that same shame. Make them feel that same downcasted spirit. And the thing is that over time, when you do that, you're also correcting that spirit of oppression in them. You're also correcting that spirit of oppression to them, to make them to make them be more accommodating and more compassionate and show love and mercy to other people. I think that's the best punishment to them. I just want to say to teachers, if you do not do what you're supposed to do now, these children, you will just be harboring a monster under your nose that will come back in the future to haunt you. I just pray, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they will target you and your children in the future, that in your old age you will cry tears of sorrow. Yes, if you chose to maybe because of money, because you feel a particular student is his parents is rich and is giving you more money, and you see him oppressing another poor child from a very humble home or for very very poor background, and you do nothing to it. I pray if that child becomes something, I pray they target you and your children. Your children are supposed to be your future. I pray they target you and they make you cry tears of sorrow in your old age if you refuse to do what is right. That's my prayer for you. And also, parents, I just feel it's not by force to have children. Like, it's not by force. If you know you are you are not ready, or you are messed up as a person, you are angry, you are not in a better place in life, why are you having kids? You can have sex all like, hey, that's none of anybody's business. The highest you can do is, if you're having sex, you can't control your urges, the highest you can have is sexually transmitted disease. Even HIV self can be, it can't be cured yet, but at least if you have money, you can manage it and you can even live a better and healthier life than some other people. But please don't bring in children into this world if you know you cannot love them, if you know you cannot be there for them, if you know you are angry, you are looking for who is going to relieve your traumatic experience. Please stop having kids. Stop abusing these children. Stop producing dysfunctional and, I don't know, dysfunctional children into the society, because they grow up to become dysfunctional adults that cannot be useful for themselves or even to you or the society. They become terror in the society. Stop it. Stop it. I think at this point, I don't know, abortion should be legal. Abortion should be like a thing that someone just enters into, or maybe government should make it free. So if people like in these cases, that you know that you don't have the capacity to raise happy, healthy children, just go walk into any hospital and just get a D&C, so the society can be safe, so you don't produce dysfunctional children into the society. I think this should be one thing that the government should work on. You can just look at it that, okay, bullying is nothing, it is something. Children are they are young, their mind is very young. Whatever it is that is sown there, it will actually it will grow, and it will germinate bad seeds. As an adult, that you had a very strong upbringing, your foundation was solid, you did not experience anything like bullying or abuse from your home. If someone bullies you as an adult, yes, you can overcome it, because you can always shake it off, but not a child. Bullying is a very very is the main cause of when withdrawn adult, dysfunctional adult, and when they have a very traumatic experience, it affects them as an adult. It is foundation of their life. They grow up to become terrible human beings in society. All these people, serial killers that I mentioned, all of them, I mean absolutely all of them, experience bullying. And you think it's not something, it's not a topic of concern. You think it's not something you need to work on. You don't think it's something that you need to correct. Anyone that is within your capacity, the ones you can see, the one you take notice of, or you don't think you're supposed to correct it. I'm pleading with you, everyone in a position of authority, in schools, boarding houses, lesson, any academic or learning center. Please say no to bullying. Please stop bullying. Stop it now, before they come back in the nearest future to haunt you, and to haunt your children, and to haunt the society. Stop it now. Say no. Say no to bullying. Say no to bullying. Stop it now. Thank you.